Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Shaking the Damn Table.
Yes.
I'm your host David, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts
Amina
and Memri.
And we are in the presence of someone who's been on the show before, Miss Veronica.
Yes, welcome back.
So, with how today's episode is gonna go, like, tell us a little bit about your schooling and the work you do. And
so I am in graduate school at Alabama A&M University. I graduated with my bachelor's at UAB. Right now I work for a company called Tech Birmingham. It's a tech association here in Alabama. And part-time I work with kids, tutoring them in math.
oh,
Yes.
that's good. Definitely giving back to the community. So today's episode is on a topic we all know and most know little about: financial literacy, which is very impactful in the Black community, and we definitely need to be educated on more, and it affects so much. But we're definitely going to touch into that and how to improve it and the importance of it. But I know a lot of things going on this month, and we're trying to get involved, get back to the culture. So, Memri, what's the move?
Okay, so I have a few moves for us this week. So actually today, something fun, February 10th, Jacob Banks with Jacob in Commons is performing at Saturn. Today. The show starts at 8 p.m. and advance tickets are only $18, which isn't too bad. In case y'all don't know a lot about Jacob Banks, I looked up a few facts about him. He's a really great artist. He's 25 years old. He's a self-taught musician. He's born in Nigeria. All right, and he's based. Yes. He's based in England. And he released his first EP in 2013. It was entitled The Monologue, and he just has this really deep, soulful voice. And
it's so rich.
It's so good.
I'll be completely honest. I played it for my mom. We were driving somewhere. She's usually very particular about the music I play in my car. I usually make sure I play like positive music in the car, whatever. But I played Jacob Banks. She was like, "Who is it? His voice is so rich." I was like, "Okay, mom." Shout out Jacob Banks. And then and I gotta be honest, Amina put me onto that album. So
he's good.
Yeah, that was good.
He's really good.
Definitely.
So, and then also the Birmingham Public Library, well, they're just doing a whole bunch of stuff this month for Black History Month, like a whole bunch of events. But one thing they're going to be doing is collaborating with an organization called SCORE, and they're going to host an event called Aspiring Entrepreneurs. So it's all about being an entrepreneur. It's free and open to anyone who would like to go. It's going to be held at the library on Tuesday, February 12th, this week too. Another event this week from 12 to 1. Like I said, it's free. You need to register before you go. But if you're looking to open up your own business and start your own thing, most definitely go. It should be really good.
That's dope. Definitely some good moves to check out in the city for this month. And with that being said, we are going to go into our featured Black Business of the Week.
Yes, so I have the Black Business of the Week, and also I'm Oprah this week, so I'm giving out gifts.
You get a car. If only.
So the Black Business of the Week is Heavenly Aromas. Heavenly Aromas are handmade soy candles that burn slow. Oh, I just broke the bag.
It's so cold.
They burn slow and smell heavenly. So they have small candles, which this is a small candle size, and they're $4.
Okay.
And we'll get to light them, so you tell me what they smell like. This one is Caribbean.
Okay.
And this one's for Veronica. Yeah. So if you want to light your candle.
I love it.
She's from the island, so that's perfect.
Right. This one is a large one, actually, and this is one that she makes for her Valentine's Day special, which the special ends today on the 10th, so, it'll be done by the time the video airs. But this one is pink mimosa and strawberry, and it smells really good.
This one's really good.
I also like the candle holders she has are really cute.
Yeah, they look cute.
Wow.
This one is vanilla, which is for you, Memri.
No, get that look.
Yes.
Okay.
And the last one, this one was for
so
me.
good.
The last one.
She took the good one. She took the good candle.
Well, I just really wanted to get like pink mimosa. That sounded good.
Yeah.
So this one is eucalyptus. I like this candle holder the best.
Yeah.
This one's for David.
Yeah, I like that one too.
It smells good. I'll take that. That's good for old people. So
I love
I
just call
definitely-
myself old.
Oh, so we're good.
Yeah, I definitely need eucalyptus. That's something that's
So
good
we're about
for
to
you.
have everything smell. It really smells good in here already.
We got all the scents going.
Like my candle. But yeah, so the small candles are $4. Then she has a medium size also, that's $8. And then the large, which is this one, is $12. And she delivers them, y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all don't have to go anywhere. She delivers on Fridays and Saturdays. Y'all should hit her up. I'm gonna put all her info up. Her Facebook page, which is Heavenly Aromas, and her Instagram is Heavenly Aromas 1. I'm sure somebody, she couldn't get the just Heavenly Aromas on there. You know how Instagram is. But y'all should definitely check her out. And that's our Black Business of the Week.
Definitely dope. Definitely got another great business to check out this month, this week, today. Support them, flood their page, support them most definitely. But now we're gonna get into the trivia of the week.
Y'all
You know,
ready?
your boy went 3 for 3 last time.
You did.
Everybody
You're
So
ready right
I'm
now.
the reigning champion. You know what I'm saying? I got my trophy. So
You are the reigning champ.
will I keep the trophy this week, or will I have to pass it off to one of my contestants? We'll find out.
Here you go. And there's one right there too.
Cool.
You can get some cards.
Yep. Get you a
Just need 3 cards.
Okay.
No
Okay. I dealt these right there with cards, like real cards. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm being so hospital. I'm like,
All right.
make sure you're good.
Y'all
Okay.
ready?
Let's go.
Shaking the damn table, Black History Month trivia.
Let's get it.
Question 1. So because it is award season, I wanted to add a couple awards questions in here for you guys.
All right.
So the first question that we have is, who was the first African American to win an Oscar? Was it A, Sidney Poitier? Was it B, Denzel Washington, my husband? Was it C, Hattie McDaniel? Or was it D, Halle Berry?
I just drew this so ugly.
I'm glad I actually know this.
Can you run through the choices one more time, real quick?
A was Sidney Poitier, B is Denzel Washington, C is Hattie McDaniel, and D is Halle Berry.
All right. Okay. I'm confident. I'm ready.
I'm not gonna lie. I told y'all, man.
Alright, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Flip your answers over.
Oh.
Veronica was correct.
Oh.
So Sidney Poitier won
He did something.
1963 for Lilies of the Field for
Okay.
Best Actor,
Oh my God,
leading
he
actor.
did something.
We were on
Denzel
the same-
Washington won for supporting in 1989 for Glory with the infamous tear, and Best Leading Actor for 2001 for Training Day. Hattie McDaniel won in 1939 for Gone with the Wind, though they banned her from coming. And then Halle Berry won 2001 Monsters Ball, so 2001 was really lit.
Okay.
Training Day was a great
I'm glad I
Training
remembered
Day was
that one
good.
from
Yeah.
school. They
Okay.
made us
That
watch
was
Gone
good.
with the Wind.
Right.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind. Fabulous.
And it's actually coming back to the
Yes, that's all I think about. Gone with the Wind. Fabulous.
Come on, give me more Black history. All right, so the next question, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Get it.
Who died one day before Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech? Was it A, Marcus Garvey? Was it B, Malcolm X? Was it C, George Washington Carver? Or was it D, W.E.B. Du Bois?
Say it one more time. Yeah, because I know. I mean, I know, but just say it again.
A, Marcus Garvey. B, Malcolm X. C, George Washington Carver. Or D, W.E.B. Du Bois? Everybody's so stumped.
Are y'all studying y'all Black history?
Right? Are you studying? Are you keeping up?
Ooh, the more you know.
Look.
That's my answer.
I'm freestyling.
Ready.
No, I had just looked up some stuff because,
Right?
yeah, you know. All right, so y'all ready?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty confident. Again.
Did everybody
you
write
know.
something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Flip it over.
I put A.
And the Veronica again was wrong.
Lord.
Yes, Veronica
She came in. She shaking the table. She came in. She said, "Upset alert!"
Oh my God.
Oh man.
W.E.B. Du Bois died August 27th, 1963. He was 95 years old in Accra, Ghana, while working on an encyclopedia of the African diaspora.
Okay.
Really, David?
Now we know. The more you know.
The more you know. Y'all ready for the last
Will
one?
Veronica finish us off?
Right. It's going to be
Okay.
0 for 3. So, since today is Grammy Day, woo
Yeah.
woo, I have a Grammy question. Though this answer may change. This is based off of 2018 report.
Let me just get that out there first.
So, put that out there because it might change tonight.
okay.
Who is the most Grammy nominated individual of all time? Is it A, Quincy Jones? Is it B, Jay-Z? Is it C, Kanye West? Or is it D, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter?
Okay.
Oh my God! I cannot.
The
Not mess
answer
this up.
we shall wait for.
Oh, I know this. Like, I know this. I'm ready.
She's confident.
But I've been confident every single time.
So that means nothing.
I got a lot of things.
It all depends on Veronica.
Veronica.
I definitely don't know this at all.
Man, I'm
confident.
I didn't know this.
I'm more confident on this one than those.
I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know the numbers when I looked it up. They were interesting.
Okay.
Cool. Let's get it.
Okay.
I guess. Because I really don't.
And are you ready to flip? Show me
guess
the
so.
answers.
It's gotta be
dead.
Quincy.
Yes, Quincy Jones
Quincy.
had 79 nominations
Yeah.
and he received 27 Grammys. Jay-Z is tied with two others, Stevie Wonder and George Solti, with 74 nominations. Kanye West has 68 nominations and Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter has 63 nominations.
Okay. I was close.
I just went with Beyonce, Navy,
No,
bro.
y'all gotta watch
Like
his
a-
documentary.
I knew it was
Quincy Jones
Beyonce.
been in.
Man, Quincy Jones been
He
doing
is the game.
He basically like watch his documentary on
He is the game.
Netflix.
I do have to watch that though. Yeah.
It's so good, y'all. Like I was so inspired. I'm like, man, I gotta make some music. I gotta come and do something. Like
Shout out him. He on this Bill Russell.
right.
he is really amazing.
But that is our Black History trivia for this.
I went 0 for 3, but Veronica gets the trophy this week. Good job. Study up. That's the tip.
That is a test.
All that means, all y'all should get from that is study up.
Yes.
But okay, we're gonna jump right into the topic, like I stated earlier, financial literacy. So when we talk about just the Black community and just like life in general, like financial stability is like the goal. That's what we all strive for. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm going through life and I'm like working and grinding and stuff, like I'm like, one day I'm trying to not have. I don't want to have to do this. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to do a 9 to 5 forever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever even designed a 40-hour week, it's just
It's trash.
with 2 breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
2 days break. Like that's just
not okay.
That's not.
Barely that. 'Cause,
That's
you
what,
know.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's not ideal, and that's what we all strive for. Like so, growing up in different financial like backgrounds, like. How was y'all's experience like financially growing up? Like, cause what we strive for financially is usually the example we followed. So like you know what I'm saying, like your parents, how was the dynamic like financially, in y'all's households?
I mean, I feel like just in a way, parents try to protect you from
Yes.
really having to deal with the stuff that you gonna have to deal with when you get older, and in that sense it can kind of enable you, or it can kind of like limit you from really being able to start early and do the stuff that you need to for your future to secure, because it gets rough after high school, after college, depending on whatever your like career path is. So I think for that sense it was like saving was so easy for me then. It was like, oh yeah, I got all the money in the world, I could save, but like then it was just like, well then I just want to spend it on something because like I don't have any responsibilities. Like spending is just to spend on something. And when you get older you realize, dang, you got to pay for a lot of stuff, like everything costs some stuff.
Everything.
Like, and this shit ain't cheap.
It's not cheap.
Your money's always going somewhere.
Right.
Yes.
So it's just kind of like you don't really expect that. And when you have that like put upon you suddenly, all at once, it just kind of shocks you, and you may not make the best decisions because then you still gonna have that sense of like, I want to do what I want to do. Like, there has to be a balance, especially when you're in school and stuff like that. Because I'd be like, man, I want to go eat somewhere fancy. I'm a freshman, like. I'm at college now, like, I should have been saving.
Better go to WOW, man.
Right. Well, it wasn't WOW yet, but you know, yeah.
WOW. This is UAB stuff.
UAB.
Y'all remember all that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that just kind of like, in that aspect, has kind of been like a culture shock in a way. It's just really being from childhood to adulthood.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I think I kind of had the same thing. Like, you know, I'd get money in high school, and, you know, that'd be my little money, you know, so this is what I got to spend, you know. So I would usually spend it. But then I got to college, and my parents just kind of, they wouldn't pay for everything. I'd be like, you know, well, I want to do this. And they'd be like, you pay for it. And I'd be like, okay. But it really, I kind of had the same, like, changing thoughts of money. Like, at one point, money was just something that, you know, you'd go to Route 21 and get a t-shirt, like, just cause, like, cause you got $10, like, you know, and you'd go there and buy this, that, and the other. And then I just know I had that change too in college. It was like, well, I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for that. And even more so now, being out of college and having apartments and cars and you know, you gotta go out and find a job now, and you pay for your stuff. And I agree, it's
having dreams, child.
Yes, it's expensive. It's really a change. I agree. And I was reading an article about like ways to become a millionaire, and one thing that it said was like, you know, be kind of stingy. Like, don't just buy everything just because it's right there. And because I could be like that, I'll be like, oh, I like this.
It'll always be there.
Right. Just gonna, you know, it's always gonna be there. And I know I'm just trying to work on saving and yes.
I know for me it was a little different. My parents were always, save your money, save your money, save your money. Put it in this account and save your money. Don't touch it. If you put it in a savings account, don't mess with it. Don't transfer it. Don't touch it. And I think out of me and my siblings, my little brother took that most to heart. Because if you borrowed money from my little brother, he would charge you interest on it.
We used to do that.
And it took me a while to figure out why he was doing that, because as I got older, my parents did still give me money if I needed it. If I asked, I need gas money to go here to here, they were like, oh, sure, here you go. And I know one day my parents were like, we're not going to keep giving you money. And I was like, well, I don't have a job. Go find one. I was like, okay.
Mine were the opposite. They said they wouldn't let me. Well, my dad wouldn't let me get a job. I was like, no.
And I mean, I know in high school, that was the whole thing. No jobs. Focus on school. Do this.
I feel like summer work and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but then it was
like
when you shift to college, it's like, okay, well, now you're a grown up, so go ahead and get that job. I know my first 2 years I struggled with getting work study from UAB.
Oh yeah, I gave up, man. I didn't want to give it to me.
And pushed and pushed, and finally I got it like my sophomore year, and that's when my parents were like, okay, well, you have a job now. I know I went to visit my grandmother, and normally she would hand us like $5 bills or something, and I walked in the house and she's like, oh, you're not getting any money, you got a job now. I was like, oh, grandma, okay. She's like, I still love you, but you're earning something on your own now. You don't have to get it from me.
You're still here. You're still here to help. Bless me.
That job ain't $1 million job.
Yeah, money on top of money is always nice.
Overflow.
Yeah, abundance. I definitely see that, because like, you know, definitely growing up, like I didn't touch money like for real at all. Like every now and then I might be lucky to get $20 like from my dad, but like, and you know, but we weren't allowed to work. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to focus on school. You know how that is. So like transition to college where like I have to work, it was just like, you know, I had people that were working since when they were young, so they could adjust and just like do it quicker. But I was like, man, this job stuff different, you know what I'm saying? But in college you have to. You have to. Like it's just grind by any means. So like it's like that's why like the importance of like financial literacy, and like why it's like it's not really, it's like why so many people grow up like not really understanding the concept of it. And why it's not taught more, because like when I went to college, I was a marketing major, and I was in a business school, so like we had to take a finance class. So it teaches you the foundations of finance and like how money works. A lot of people don't take a class like that, or like, so it's like, why is it not required? Because colleges make you take all these other classes that don't really apply to anything, but a finance class is a practical thing everyone could learn from. So like, why is that not taught more versus like all this history they said we need to know, which is irrelevant now because we don't even use it. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. So like, I think like not just a business requirement, everyone should have a finance class at least once. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That goes into just like how I don't know if you remember, but like in middle school, we did taxes and stuff like that. We did a whole tax project. Like in elementary school, they had a whole project. Like our 5th grade, like in the project was like, you gotta go buy a house, have kids, all this kind of stuff, and make a budget for like your whole life, this future fantasy life or whatever that we knew nothing about. We was just doing little clippings and like, oh, this house look cute. It's like $100,000. Let me get that. Yeah. Oh, let me get this. Like, it was just stupid. Like, why are we doing this now? And then later on, we're not doing anything to come back to that. We like aren't learning about checks and all that kind of stuff because we were learning about balancing checkbooks and stuff. Like, it was just like, I get it. Introduce it, but if you're not reiterating this when it's important, like in college, like in high school, they don't really stick to the whole college thing until like senior year, and it's like, well, it's too late now. I done messed up.
I'm not as prepared as I would have been. Like, you gotta know what it is.
I didn't get that, so
I agree. I've like as far as like going into schools, I volunteer with an organization called Junior Achievement.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And they do a lot of financial education, like a lot of different things, and it's multiple grades. So like they do like they have lessons for like the smaller kids too, on up to like 9th grade, 10th grade, and it's very interesting. It's all like credit and debit and loans and debt. It's a lot of good, interesting things, and I think they're kind of trying to reinforce what y'all were talking about, like come back and do it again. Like don't just teach it at this point, but come back.
It's like, don't just make it a project for us to just get through and do it.
That's how we're gonna treat it.
Right. Because I mean, like, yes, we're very malleable at that age to be able to grasp that stuff. But if you're not teaching it as a like, this is like how to build on it, just the same with civics, and we don't learn like about voting and all that kind of stuff for real.
Yeah.
You know, and like actually get into the different like things that we as citizens can do and what we should actually be looking into and how to get into that kind of stuff. But child, that's the whole education system, and I could go there.
Exactly. It's like, but I definitely remember like in high school we had a budget project. They give you like $10,000 or whatever. I forgot the amount, and like you have to go through all these expenses and like basically a life that you have to go through like spending. And then the end, like how if you're left with more money, you like basically it means you did better. And I believe I passed. I got an A, but like I just remember that project being so stressful and like all nighters, and it was just something I had to get through. But I didn't really understand it. I was just like, they introduced it, but it was just a project. That was it. So I had to learn budgeting, other stuff on my own, and it's such an important thing to pick up. I don't know like the best way to do that at that age when you're not really introduced to it, you know, or shown how to do it.
Yeah. I know when I first was at UAB, one of my second jobs, I worked with Gear Up, the Gear Up program, through a woman called Stephanie Yates. She's a financial professor in the School of Business. And they were teaching financial education to students. But the one drawback was they followed those students. And instead of staying in that one school, it was you started with the 7th graders and moved on with them when they moved to the 8th grade and then to the 9th and so on and so forth. And I mean, that's great because those same students get the same thing over and over again. But then what happens to the other students who also need that? You're not following them as well. But I did like it because they did go over like money matters. We gave them like these fake dollar bills, like basically monopoly money. And just explain to them, hey, well, these are stocks. These are what stocks do. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, okay, well, when I was younger, I didn't really care about stocks. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
no.
cool. Nike has a ticker symbol. I don't know what that is going around the school of business.
Yeah.
But now I can
Felt
at
like
least
somebody.
look at it and say, okay, I know that symbol stands for Nike. Nike is up maybe $20. I mean, I can't explain it to other people. I just know,
In general.
okay, yes.
More than the rest of us.
Yes,
Look,
and I
I
think
do,
that's really it helps eventually.
Yeah.
I know. Now I'm a part of this society called the Stocks and Stiletto Society. It's a financial literacy investment group for women. And a lot of the women are like, oh, well, I just opened stocks for my child. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I want to do that. And I was like, I don't have a child, but I'm like, that would have been really cool to have as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you have this stock in your name and it's just building and building and building. So when you turn 18, your parent would give it to you and you're like, okay, well, I have all this money. I'm like, don't go spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
But you can either invest it in other things or you can turn around and say, okay, I don't want it anymore. I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
It'll just
Grow.
keep building
Yeah.
on itself. I know there's a men's group called MVP Moneymakers that was started this year as like a supplement to the women's group. And I was like, this is just really cool because I don't know anything about stocks.
Yeah.
I sit in this group and I literally watch these women talk about, oh, well, I just bought stock in Amazon. And I'm like, how are you guys doing this? I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong that I don't understand? So the cool thing about that is the woman who started it, Cassandra Cummings, she does a 21-day stock challenge every 6 months or so, just to give everybody that understanding. Oh, this is what a ticker symbol is. This is how you look at the margins between. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, okay, I'm understanding it a little bit. I don't understand the full scope of it, but it at least helps me to see this is where this is going, and maybe when I go jump into stocks, I can actually understand if some financial advisor comes to me and says, oh, well, we're going to sell your stock. I'm like, no.
Don't do
I
that.
was reading this and I know this, and you can't pull one over on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a foundation, something to go off of. Cause
Yes.
I was definitely unfamiliar at first, but I definitely follow stock daily, and it's like it really can seem like something foreign to like it just like, what is this? What are all these things going on? You're like, oh, colors. What is this? Exactly, but like you said, like being able to put aside stocks for your kids, like that's something that would be so dope. Because I remember I don't know if it was on social media. It was like a post. Someone was like, "This is the best gift I could ever receive." They opened up like a little box and they had put like it basically said like, this is one stock to, it was like all this stock in Nike that her dad had to save for her birthday. He gave it to her for her birthday. I was like, wow, that is, you know what I'm saying? Nike stock.
Generational wealth.
Of course, I love Nike, and like
wealth.
I had wearing Nike, but stock in Nike. That's like stuff that you can like give your children. Like that is like a gift that that's priceless. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like an investment in their life and a whole. It's way bigger than just Nike, you know what I'm saying?
Setting them up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just basically you just have an account for them or something, like financially putting money aside for them. It's the same thing, but it's like so much more. Like you said, you can invest in so many other things.
Yes.
So it's a lot of depth, and definitely it's a lot of depth.
And that's a major problem with like us being able to get into from that childhood to adulthood stages, because like if our parents haven't been able to practice like good behavior with money and stuff like that,
not been
because
able.
of their because of their like circumstances and stuff like that, then being able to teach it to their children is kind of foreign to them.
Yes.
You're gonna follow a similar cycle,
Right. It's just gonna be like, well, I don't really know what
going off you.
what to do with this besides spend it where I need to or where I want to.
Yeah. And it's like a launching pad. Like if your parents have money and if they have all these resources, then you're kind of offered different opportunities. Like,
You
you can
are.
do more.
It's
You
funded.
can
Everything's
exactly.
funded.
It's funded. Like, you can go to that college. You can go and do these different things.
Travel there.
Exactly. But if your parents don't have as much money, you may not be able. Not saying that you can't, but it's a little hard to reach those equal opportunities that people with money. I'm a hand speaker. That people with money do have. You know. So it's really. I mean, we all know Black people. We're already starting in the back.
Yep.
We're already start the race all the way in the back of the race. So it's like, when we do get some generational wealth, and when we do learn those money saving techniques, and are able to give our children something, a nest egg, like go out, like you were talking about with his daughter, go out and take this money and do with it, you know. But we all of us just aren't able to do that.
Yeah,
we're just not able to do that.
Yeah, you ain't got it. If you don't have it, what can you do? You can just grind, and that's all we know how to do.
Right.
But like, yeah, of course, like the goal is like we need to over time make sure we're retaining the income we're making. Like all these, like like there was the Grammys pre-brunch with like Diddy was in the room, Kevin Hart, Jay-Z, Beyonce, like all of them were like in that room, like all that wealth, and just like Jay-Z and Diddy, that's $2 billion right there. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like all this wealth. So I'm just like, I just hope that they're able to, like, of course, save that to like use for generations to come. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's why we're making this money. Because like, I mean, we're being honest, like they're making the white man's money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're doing, but you have to. It's what you do with it afterwards. Like we need to. They're the source. So obviously we need to. Our craft is dependent on how we get paid is dependent on them. But we gotta use it to our advantage once we get it. Instead of sending it right back out. Everybody I got money. Boom, I'm balling. Boom, here you go. Like if you balling,
right back out.
Don't you want to
invest in you?
Yeah,
keep it.
Make sure that you stay balling.
Yeah, that's the thing. People work and they have like a lot of times like you had this job for years, but you have nothing to show for it. Like, don't you want to have like if you've been working for like 20 years, you need to have something to show that you've been working for 20 years. Like you shouldn't still be. I know it's a process, of course, but like in general, if you, like you shouldn't. We're trying to get past the pay to paycheck living. And I know that happens gradually. Like, everybody has different timing with that, but like no one likes that.
Let it be so, Lord.
Please.
Like, please, we trust all your timing, all your blessings.
Right.
We're right on time, but like it's that generational wealth is like the key, and like you said, like all the classes she listed, everything that you can YouTube, you can definitely Google financial like literacy, just understanding money movement, the economy, like micro, macro, just like understanding like how things work as a whole, because like like the resources are definitely out there. It's best to like start a budget yourself, like the best you can. Like you basically, you get.
I'm just thinking of times when I've done budgets and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, really, like what I'm saying. Like it's so hard to do these days. It's like I want to put money aside. I gotta get this. I gotta get this.
Once you get to the point where you gotta scrape for something, you like, man, forget that I had to put this aside.
But it is a good thing to do. I agree. My dad's made me sit down and like do a budget, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. But it's like looking at it and like then going back and looking at what you actually spend, like it is interesting. Like you can see where you spend all your money.
Breakdowns on. I mean, I don't want to look at that. I know 60% of mine is gonna say food. So that's not good.
And it's upsetting sometimes because you're like, I didn't really spend that much. You lying?
Yeah, no,
and then you're like, nah,
you
bro, I really did spend that much.
You went to brunch.
Exactly.
I don't feel that money. Where that? I really spent $11. That meal gone.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like the summary, of course, I want to like make sure be known in this episode is like like of course with the generational wealth, like the only solution is to save. Like that's all. That's all you can do. You have to save. So like I definitely have like some saving tips, like saving apps that I recommend everyone should have. These are Shaking the Damn Table approved apps. The David approved apps. But these are apps I've had for a long time. The first app I'm gonna let y'all know about is Digit. It is a app that it uses an algorithm that works in the background, and it analyzes your expenses, when the money enters your account, when it leaves your account, your spending habits. And before y'all, I know that sounds weird, but it's FDIC approved. I've had it I've had the app for 2.5 years. It does now charge a $2.99 monthly fee, But when I first got it, it was free. But like, you know, as a business grows, you know, you guys, if you're gonna ride the business, you gotta support them. So like, I paid $2.99, but it's so much worth it because like, it takes money out of your account. Like it's like not even noticeable. It makes sure it's like something that doesn't like, you know, throw you off.
Yeah.
But if it knows you have more money in your account, you just got paid. It takes a little more, but it's like you don't even think about it. So you get this pot that's saving in the background. But you can set the savings for it. You can set like how aggressively it saves for you. You can add money to it when you want. You can take money out, take some money to business day, or up to 3 to 5 business days. Like, but it takes money out for you. So like Digit, I definitely recommend. I've had it for 2.5 years. And it's definitely it can be a rainy day fund. It can be a credit card pay off fund, any debt fund, spending money trip fund. You know what I'm saying? Like you can use it for whatever you want. So like highly recommended that. That's my first one. Definitely download it. The next one is Acorns.
Yes.
And yes, that's an app. Like these are all apps that like me and my homeboy, shout out to all of them. We all like I know Gary, shout out Gary. He definitely posted the Digit app for us to download ever. In 2016, and I downloaded it, so like shout out him for that. So I definitely was put on, so I'm trying to put back on. Acorns, it's like it's definitely saving, but it's also an investment app as well. So like it basically takes these things called roundups, which is the whole it rounds up the whole dollar for whatever you spend. So like if you spend $1.50 somewhere at like a coffee shop, something like that, it takes out 50 cents without you knowing, and it puts it in an account. So like think about how many times you swipe all that roundup change over time. You know what I'm saying? I've had the app for about 1.5 years now, probably 2 years. Like it's just changed. I don't even think about it. I got like almost like 450 roundups. You know what I'm saying? This is over like 1.5 years. You know, you swipe your card that much, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, but it also unfortunately we swipe our cards a lot. Exactly. But it takes that change and it invests it for you. That's the cool thing about it. So like, this is kind of a way for you to get into stock when you don't, but it kind of chooses a portfolio for you. So you can choose to be conservative, moderate, or aggressive, which means it's going to invest aggressively into businesses, or you can be, if you're like not really, you know, into taking like you don't want to risk too, you know, you kind of want to just like try it, but not really, you know,
because we broke.
Exactly. It can do a conservative portfolio, so it invests for you, but it won't be like, you know, anything drastic.
It's a safer options, like bonds and things like that. So you're not investing in the Nike stock that's gonna bounce up.
Exactly. The more that's the warning. The more aggressive you are, of course, you're gonna see more fluctuation. Because obviously, I have a pot in there. I have money in there, but sometimes the amount will be lower than what I've invested. That's honest. I mean, I understand, but like you gotta trust. Like when it comes to like the market, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna change sometimes, but like where there is big reward, there's also the same, you know, the same risk for loss. You know what I'm saying? But that's just general life, for real.
Yeah, so, that's life lessons there.
Yeah, so you might as well try to, you know, double it up as much as you can.
Wisdom.
You know, definitely. So I recommend that one. It's a really good background app. I call these background apps you won't really have to check, but like you'll be saving. You know what I'm saying? So keep them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the goal.
I put on like the last page of my.
You don't want to see it.
I'm gonna start touching with.
You feel about how much? Like, keep that out of sight, out of my apps. That's how it works. And the next app I have is called Capital, but it's with a Q. So spell capital, but just replace the first letter with Q. It's like the wordplay is kind of that's kind of weird. But this app, I recently got it, and it's very unique. It's a very colorful app. Same thing. It's like you can deposit money into it. You can set up a thing where it takes money out, like your change and all that. But the unique thing on that app, it has these things called rules. You can set different rules that you follow. Like there's a guilty pleasure rule, which means if you spend something on something you're trying to resist, you save something. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one of the rules that it'll do. If you say I spent something, I want to try, it'll automatically just take out something for an account. I want to challenge myself financially. I'm doing the 52-week challenge. It's really interesting. It takes out $1 every week, and then as the week goes up, it takes out that number. So when if you're in week 30, it's taking out 30 for that week. If you the next week, the next week is week 30. I mean, no, like I said, it's aggressive. Like definitely choose a rule on that app that works for you. But I'm trying to challenge myself. But like, yes, by 52 weeks by December, it'll be taking out 52 a week. You know what I'm saying? That for that week.
Okay.
Then it'll be like 51 the week before, 50 the week before. So like, I'm gonna try myself. I'm gonna see where it goes. I'm trying to see how long I can last before I stop it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see if I can make
We
it.
all know you're a boss.
So
we all know, David.
you know what I'm saying? No. First of all, disclaimer. I'm doing no. I'm not bald. But that's the whole thing. So like by the time you get to December, like Christmas time, like you should have around. You should,
Give people gifts.
that's what I'm saying.
October, stop.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to let people know that do it, and whatever, like for however long is like comfortable for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try myself, but I know I'm when it gets to 40s, I'm like, hold on now. 41, 42, 43. Like think about it. That's a lot of money, like in a month to take it out. But like you can stop at any time. It'll be perfect holidays. Like if you last till December, you'll have over 1,300.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's literally a fund for gifts. You don't have. It's like my whole thing about saving. It just gives you a cushion. It's for a later date. It's for a rainy day. So like the point is to have something to fall back on. So you wouldn't even have to worry because like when Christmas come up, you're like, what am I going to spend? What am I going to spend? But where do I get it from? But like that's going to be taken care of. And you started that work in January. You know what I'm saying? You started work earlier. That's the whole point. So that's what I'm trying to do with that. I'm in week 7. So. Wish me luck, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna like
Put
let
it
it
on
be.
the last page.
Yeah.
I'm letting it be in the background then until I feel like I start noticing it. Then I'm be like, you know what I'm saying? But like, hey, I'm gonna challenge myself. I think I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm join you on this. Okay.
Hey,
I'm
just
thinking.
stop it whenever.
I feel like I'd have to be like, okay, it's $30. Okay, what? How much money do I got? Don't spend that $30. Okay.
After 30 weeks, think about 30 weeks going up to 30. That's straight. That's gonna be
that's
a good way,
good.
a place to stop. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, most definitely. And
Good.
you said maybe. Hey, these are just optional, but I would highly recommend them. So that way you have like different pools in different places, different apps. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the next one, like I know that credit is something that a lot of people like. I know, especially this age now, we kind of have to be a little more mindful of it. But like, I really didn't even think about it for the last 24 years of my life, to be honest. I mean, I was just like, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you kind of have. I mean, like. For certain things that you kind of do need to know it. So like, I mean, Credit Karma. I'm sure everybody has an app, but if you don't, I highly recommend you have it. It's just the easiest way to check. It's just the best credit app.
Yeah.
Might hurt
honestly.
your feelings.
It hurts your feelings. Yeah, when you reconsolidate your student loan and your credit score drops 50 points. But I mean,
Not 50
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. It's definitely something that's good to monitor, and having a credit card with it too kind of helps regulate it. So definitely recommend having that app. That's a good app to have. And for like people who are like definitely trying to get more into stocks, I recommend Robinhood. You can do the portfolio thing in Acorns, but Robinhood is a good stock app. You just download into it. I mean, you can deposit into it directly, and then the money deposited there, you can like invest in it, whatever company you want to. So you have to obviously have enough for that company's share. But when you get to it, you can just choose it. First of all, you choose your favorite company, so you only see those. So I got Nike, I got Apple, I got Amazon, I got all the companies I use. And then like if I have like $20 in there, and their Hibbett Sports is on there, shout out Hibbett Sports. That's the work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when I go on there, I look for I look to see if it's at a good amount. Like if I have like $10 in there and there's a stock for like 6, I'm like, okay, let me just buy $6 shares of whichever company it applies to. You know what I'm saying? And it's a portfolio, so it goes up and down. So you have to. It goes up and down, so you have to make sure you're following that and not being there. And so those are the 5 apps you should definitely have. And I have to wrap things up and let you know the best thing to do in this. You have to make sure is like tithing. I don't know how everyone feels about that, but make sure you give the Lord His and give back to, give the Lord His share. You know what I'm saying? Because like He will bless you. Those who refresh others will be refreshed themselves. So you know what I'm saying? So like
the table with
this year, refresh others and refresh yourself.
Amen.
That's all you gotta do. Of course, I gotta leave with this is my quote. Quote me on it. Hey, stack your bread, but don't let it go to your head. That's all I gotta say.
Come on.
I'm gonna let Cole play us out.